Hey guys, it's RG the Awesome here, bringing us our Week 2 power rankings for the PMC. And once again, Dallas has he's not completed his move yet in Japan, but this time we have the one and only Kohona Gon joining us. Hey guys, I'm Kohona Gon. Thank you to RG and the PMC for having me. I'm really stoked. All right, well, you guys know how this works. We're going to count down who we feel places where on like the power rankings thing. There are some big changes, but you also got to remember we don't have the same second person. Last time we did have choice CJ. Um, but this week was something else. There were so many amazing matches. So let's go ahead and get started. At number 12, dropping down a little bit, we have Twisted Misty of the Misty Drapions. Of course, you got to remember last time we did only rank the top 10, so she's not really dropping too much. The main reason why it looks like she dropped so much is because this time we're going to 12 and not 10. I feel like out of all the matches, hers and Bird's match was really the only one that wasn't like a close match. She didn't really bring any defensive answers, unless you count Intimidate Staraptor, which did, I will admit, it did save her from a quick attack kill. But other than that, I didn't see too much of a defensive answer. And when you're going up against someone with like a Mega Pincer, I don't think that straight up offense is the best choice. And another play I have to question is switching in Greninja on Granbull, when Granbull can just pretty much kill anything. Your thoughts, Kahona?
Yeah, I agree. There were some questionable plays, but at number 12, I have the coach of the Colorado Rapidash. Um, I feel like he didn't really get to show off anything this week, as Lucky just completely really just handled his team really well. I don't think he made misplays of any sort. But I feel like Lucky just kept complete control, and so I couldn't really place him up high because you don't you didn't really get to see what he was made of last week, and you didn't get to see it this week either.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I moved him up. He was at the bottom of the list last week, but so I guess, although now it does say -1, he was at the bottom. He's going up, kind of, but this time I have him higher because, as you said, he didn't make any big misplays. It wasn't like I don't want to say the loss was out of his control, because if he would have prepped a little better, maybe he could have come out with the victory. But he didn't make any bad plays at all, and it was really just Lucky's superior prep that really got him. And so you're right, I can't put him up very high, but I feel like he, out of everyone, he improved a lot.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Um, well, for number 11, I have J Specs, coach of the Hamden High Dragons, and this was the first week we got to see anything from him. And honestly, it's a little lackluster compared to what I was expecting from him. He has one of the most amazing teams, and he was really manhandled by a Jellicent. Um, so I feel like he's going to obviously do better. There were certain circumstances to where he had to battle early in the morning, so he wasn't really awake. But manhandled by a Jellicent, especially when you got something like a Thunderous and Tangrowth, I feel like he could have done better that match.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And that's why I have him at number 10 this week. I feel like he didn't really show his best potential. That he again could have done a lot better.
Well, for number 10, I have your number 12, Twisted Misty of the Misty Drapions. Um, and again, she didn't play nearly as well as she did this week as she did last week. And I feel like if she starts playing better like she did the week before, maybe she can still take control because that division is honestly right now it's seeming kind of lackluster with the battle being mainly between J Specs and Twisted Misty. But however, if she plays like she did the first week, then I think that she's still in the running for it. She can still get that top spot. She is currently in control of it right now, but if she keeps playing like she did this week, I don't see her making playoffs. All right, understandable. Well, for number 9, I didn't have him moving up any. I have the Kansas City Kingdras, and this is the first time we agree. Yeah, last week me and Kohona didn't, not me and Kohona, but me and CJ didn't agree on anything until like number 3. Yeah, yeah, I saw that. But I feel Kingdra really improved this week too. The only thing I really have to question is that he really just let his Rotom Frost, which seemed to be offensive this week. He really just let it wither down really easily when he did have the Heal Beller and Aromatisse. And then he also let his Venusaur get weakened down too much also. And he was really relying on moves with less than 100% accuracy, in which, yeah, they miss. That kind of sucks. And they have a lot of power, so it's kind of worth it. But I feel like a lot of the moves that he made were a little unnecessary. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. But again, I at the same time, like as you said, they have a lot of power, and I feel like they were necessary this week because if they would have hit, then he would have been a lot better off. So you can't blame him too much for using those super powerful moves. But I agree with you in the fact that he relied on them a bit too much because you can't really be angry if you miss. But again, it was a really close match, and I'm really hoping that to see more from him and to really see him improve later on in the season. But now let's move on to our silver rankings, in which once again we both agree in that we have Phantom Base, coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, dropping down a bit to number 8. Care to explain? Yeah, like his match was really close, and I feel like he had momentum for over half the match until he made that one misplay and then wasn't able to come back for it. Um, but I felt this week he wasn't playing as well as he had last week. When Kingdra had caught him off guard, he was able to calm down, think of something, and then proceed to keep the momentum. But that one thing that threw him off with the Landorus, he just couldn't get it back. I get that there are different circumstances, but uh, again, plus that predictable play, like it's really obvious that you're going to go into Garbodor, and it was really really predictable. Yeah, I can see that. Um, well, for number 7, I have staying at the same spot, Sharpino, coach of the Sydney Crocodiles. Yeah. I know. I have someone that won their match in the bottom half, but I feel like Sharpino, he did improve. He managed to come back from his loss against Vode, and as I stated last week, he has so much potential. Um, but as we stated before, J Specs wasn't really in his right mind, I guess. Like, I don't know. And I feel like J Specs wasn't playing at his top power, and so you didn't really get to see a whole bunch from him. But he still like, I'm not trying to take away from his win or anything. He still played amazingly. Um, yeah, you. I have him placed up in the gold parts of our ranking. Um, but I have at number 7, Inferetti, coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had taken on Kingdra and had done really well. The only thing that I would really have to say is he needs to upload. Man, I want to say something about this match, but I haven't seen his side of the battle, so I can't like delve into his mind and like know what plays he made. Like if he was expecting something, made something amazing. So yeah, that's my only thing I have on him is that he needs to upload.
Agreed, man, and I'm pretty sure that there's quite a few people that would agree with you as well. At number 6, I have moving up 2 spots Yuma, coach of the Chicago Cub Shoes, and as we stated below, him and Phantom Base, they they had a really good match. Yuma was kind of struggling in the beginning until he saw his opening, took it, and then just took complete control of the match. And that's really why I moved him up into the top half. It was really close between him and Sydney, but the fact that he was able to really see, like he was really far behind in this match, and then he was able to like see his win condition. He knew what he had to do to win, and he took it, and he won.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that. Um, at number 6, I have the Jersey Dwebbles. As you stated, there is someone that lost the match in the top 6. Surprise, surprise. But I feel out of everyone that did lose, he showed the most potential. As he literally lost the closest you could lose, with the Gengar having 1 health point left. One. And which, like, it was a really close match, and he also played really well last week too. And so I did have to put him a smidge above Inferetti because again, I don't know how Inferetti thinks, but I have seen his sides, and he's really good. I enjoy watching his content. All right, fair enough, fair enough. So let's go ahead and delve into the top 5, in which I have Inferetti. Um, I feel like he did really well last week, even though he did lose. And then this week, he really just he kicked it up a notch, and I was really expecting Kingdra to come up with the win, and then Inferetti just really out really did really well, and was able to come up with that 3-0 victory. Really played Vileplume and Slowbro well, and I don't know. I feel like he did pretty good, and I'm I'm I kind I'm kind of happy I put him into the top half despite him being a losing team from last week. Yeah, I can see that. Last week you had him in the top half, even though he lost. This week he won and proved that he deserved to be in said top half. But at number 2, I have Yuma of the Chicago Cub Shoes. Um, Last week he played really well, and it was the seed flare and all that, the damage rolls, and it'd be hard to tell what would have happened had certain things gone down. And then this week he, as you said, he knew what he had to do to win, and he took it, and then just went through Phantom Base's team. And this, and like in the beginning, he wasn't really like flailing around trying to figure out what to do. He was um Phantom Base did have the momentum, but Yuma wasn't super far behind. He really played well the entire match, and then just got that one play right, and then took it to victory.
Yeah, I can see you. So let's go ahead and move on to our gold cup, in which I have staying at the same spot, the Jersey Dwebbles. Um, and I know they lost, blah 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 blah. They're in the top part. What's wrong with you, RG? Well, last week they played amazing. This week they played amazing. That's really all that it comes down to on these rankings. Again, it came down to 1 health on Gengar.
So yes, I have him higher up than some people that won their matches. But I feel like that if there is ever a rematch between him and Stab, I think there might be. It's just going to be that much greater because it was so close this time, and I'm really looking forward to his next match. He's really showing that he's a good battler, and again, he gave Stab a run for his money, and which Stab is just an amazing battler in the league format. Yeah, I can see that, but I have a number four, Sharpino of the Sydney Crocodiles, and we covered him a little bit farther down, and I feel like he really handled himself well in his match against J Specs, and his last match against Verd, he really handled himself well. He did end up losing the match, but again, he handled himself and he knew what he like it wasn't a bad match. It was really close, and again, I feel like he's gonna be one of the top people in this league, so I had to have him high up. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Um, and once again, we agree here at number three, where we have Lucky, coach of the Dallas Manectric. It says that he jumped up 8 spots, but that's just because he wasn't on the rankings last week because he didn't battle last week. Yeah. As I stated, when we were back down, that he really just did amazing in his match against V. His Glalie taking out the Mew, that Suicune just going on a rampage. He just played perfectly. And I feel like if we would have saw something out of him last week and he would have done well, I feel like he might be higher, but like it was a really tough decision between the top three. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Yeah, Lucky played really well this week. Um, and his Glalie exploding, taking down the Mew, that was great. Took out the biggest threat, in my opinion, on the Rapidash team. And then again, he used Suicune amazingly. But for number two, man, number two is an inverse from last week. I have the Verd, coach of the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. Um, I know it says that he dropped down, but he played really well this week. Like it wasn't that he didn't play well; it was that the person that's above him played better this time. Like I feel like I'll get to that when we're at number one, or when we go to your number two, who is my number one. But not much to really say this time around. Verd knew what to bring. His Gligar set was great. The substitute baton pass into Mega Pinsir, which got the Swords Dance, and would have swept had it not been for the Intimidate Star After, which was the honestly only thing that was there to do anything defensively. Like she didn't have a defensive team, and he saw that and he was able to use that to his advantage. Um, and he is your number one. So how about we go on to my number one and your number two? Okay. I have Stab, coach of the Chicago Sacred Fire. I really wanted to put him at number one, but we should really point out that it isn't Stab playing these matches. It is his assistant coach, Trev. Had it been him playing these matches, I would put him at number one. But because it's not him, I can't really put him any higher. Trev played amazingly this week. Really got into his opponent's head in the very beginning, and again, it was just the closest match you could have in just period. One health and living in on stealth rocks. Yeah, I completely agree. It is Trev that's playing, um, but I believe it's still Stab building the teams.
in which the teams that he's building are really working well, like the quick attack on Lopany just for the Mega Beat drill, which ended up giving him the game. Like if he wouldn't have had quick attack, rip Sacred Fire, man. Um, so yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It is Trev and not Stab, but I feel like Trev played out of everyone, he played the best this week. Um, I know that sounds kind of weird, seeing as how he only lived because of the rocks damage being rounded down on Gengar. Like he had 18 health, and the rocks did 17 point something, and it was rounded down because it's Pokemon. Um, but I feel like he played really, really well because when you look at the teams, honestly, I think the Dwebbles have a better matchup against the Sacred Fire, and I was really thinking the Dwebbles were going to be able to win this one just because of the matchup. But Trev was able to just completely blow my mind in that match, and he did really amazing. Yeah, I understand. And something I would like to point out is while they are listed 1 to 12, all these everyone here is an amazing battler. True, true, true. Listen to Kohona's words, man. Everyone here is amazing. No one is out of the playoffs picture yet. Um, and it's really a lot closer than what these rankings make it seem. Like next week, who knows? 1 and 12 could be inversed. Maybe Stab will be at number 12 and Misty will be at number 1, or in Gahona's case, Verd at number 12 and V at number 1. You never know. Like everyone here is just really good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing week 3. Anyways, you guys stay awesome. I know we will, and we will see you next time. Peace.